Okay, we might need to draw this down a little bit. I wonder, do we need a light? We might need a light. We might need a light. All right, let's see if this works. Is that good enough? Oh, it's good light. We could turn that down. Put this down. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. We can rock with that. Can we put a filter over the top? It's a little bit, maybe if we turn this. I don't know what the deal is, but like my contrast in here is terrible. Maybe we turn this. We might be able to. Okay. So, fragrances that we're gonna cover. Can I pin a comment? Let's see. Let's welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. For some reason, I can't type in the chat. Yo, how do I type in the chat, bro? Huh, okay. What's going on, guys? Hey, let's talk about some of the stuff we're going to be covering on the channel soon. We got a lot of fragrances stacked up. Matter of fact, let me grab all of them. There's so many. Here we go. Here we go. Fragrance of the week. Fragrance of the week right here. Mancera's Vetiver Sensual. Ooh-wee. I might be able to just prop that up. Let's see. Might be able to prop that up. What's going on, Nolan? What's going on, Mister? Shout outs to Greece. Shout outs to Greece. One place I haven't been yet. Okay, let's talk about what we're gonna cover. I just copped a brand new bottle of Mancera's Vetiver Sensual. Probably top 2 best fragrances in Mancera. My personal favorite, but I think it is tied for first place. Fragrances we're gonna cover on the channel this week. For those of y'all, when you spin the block and check it out, we're going to be checking out YSL's Myself, EDP, I believe. Yeah, EDP. We're going to be covering, what else is in this stack? YSLY, EDP. We're going to cover 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. We're going to be covering, what up, Kicks? We're going to be covering Polo 67. I love the booklets, man, because they actually give you the real note breakdown as opposed to Fragrantica, and almost every single breakdown I've seen on here doesn't match Fragrantica, so it's good to have these sometimes. Acqua di Gio Armani Eau de Parfum, clear bottle. We try to put a balance on this channel between niche, cloning inspiration, and, you know, mass appeal. So on the lines of that, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, we're going to cover that as well. Givenchy Gentleman's Society Eau de Parfum, we're going to cover that as well. Azzaro's Most Wanted, we're going to cover that as well. Some of your commercial hitters for sure. Kicks, got it in, bro. Got it in, bro. Look at that dent. I just got it. Look at that dent, bruh. Your boy has been going nutty, acting a straight fool with some vetiver sensual. I'm trying to get sensual in these holidays. Amen, right? Check this out. What y'all know about this? What y'all know about the new Ross banger? Ross don't be carrying this. They did this time. They messed up. They put this right on the shelf so I could see it as soon as I walked in. They messed up, bro. They messed up. Under the Lemon Tree, Bubble Bath, Lazy Sunday Morning, By the Fireplace, Autumn Vibes, Jazz Club, Sailing Day, When the Rain Stops, Beach Walk, On a Date. $16. $15.99. $15.99 for, what is it, 2-3 ml a bottle? 10 2 mls with the Addy on them. I don't even got to dress these up. Addy included. It's about 2-3 days worth of juice. Plenty for a review. I'm not the biggest wearer of Margiela, but obviously the usual hitters is going to be By the Fireplace and Jazz Club, which we want to put on the channel. But if we're going to do the hitters, we might as well do most of the hitters in the lineup. So we're going to touch on that for sure. This is one I've been seeing, but I'm interested in it. It's kind of along the lines of Walmart's Dossier line. You know what I'm saying? Dossier has a lot of more, I would call them, for lack of better words, organic takes on commercial fragrances like Dior Sauvage, like Tom Ford, Tobacco Vanille, all that stuff. They kind of are inspirations that go in a more organic, earthy take where they're not really trying to showcase synthetics at all. So they kind of have a more natural body mist take on it. This is similar, but less body mist, more cologne, you know, straight proof colognes. Got this discovery kit for, y'all see that? I might have to flip it around for you. $10. We've got Bergamot. I'm not naming a note profile. These are the actual names of the fragrance. We got Malin and Goats, Bergamot, Cannabis, Dark Rum, Leather, Strawberry, and Vetiver. We're messing around with some Layton, some Parfums de Marly Layton. We're messing around with some Montclair La Corday. We're messing around with some Nishane's Wulong Cha. We're messing with You know, I'm probably going to give this away. I'm probably going to give Vetiver Sensual away 5 ml to a viewer. So we going to make sure everybody's taken care of for the holidays. We hit our 1,000. So we're definitely giving away 10 5 ml decants. I'm locked and loaded. We got so for the holidays, we got these nice tampon looking decants, 5 mLs. They're beautiful because you can just pump them. You don't have to extract or anything like that. You simply put it on the top of the fragrance, pump, 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 and you got yourself 5 ml in the Addy. The Addy is nice. It's decent. You know what I'm saying? The trigger's okay. But 5 ml is going to 10 people. And I might just throw Vetiver Sensual in there for one lucky winner. We're going to give the winner Vetiver Sensual plus one of any of my 300 fragrances from my collection. And then we're going to give everybody else one 5 ml decant of anything from my collection. We got a little bit of fragrances on the shelf in my studio. We got a gang of female fragrances, probably like 20. We're going to throw some female fragrances on the channel. I think about 10% of my audience is females looking for either unisex or fragrances for their men. But I want to show the women some love. So we're going to be adding probably about 25 female fragrances to the channel so we can help the ladies out. We don't want to leave the ladies out. Men, you're going to want to tune in because you're going to want to know what to give, gift to your lady. We got some fragrances in here, not all of them. Let's put you guys on game. My studio is dirty, bro. The studio is dirty. We need to get to it. We got to clean up. We got to do better. I need to turn that monitor on. There we go. Cool. Yeah, the stew is a little bit dirty, bro. I got to be real with you. But we got some frags in the back. Got some frags in the base. Got some frags up here. We got a buttload of frags right here that we were going over. We got some frags right here. We got shelves of samples. We got some bottles. Just copped a new keyboard to replace that one over there. We got some winter. We got some spring, summer. You know, it is what it is. But we're going to talk about it. How y'all doing, man? Let me know how y'all feeling. What y'all doing out there? We're going to definitely get it cracking. We might do a couple of brief reviews. What do we got? We make the test strips in-house, baby. Because when I'm messing with test strips, they normally be super thinny, bro. I don't like it, man. You waste more than 50% of the juice spraying test strips. So for me, I like to make them a little thicker, a little bigger. So a little cheat code for y'all out there when you're not trying to cop test strips. Watercolor sketch and paint paper. 30 sheets, 140 pound. This is cold press, so it's very good at absorbing liquid because it's used to absorbing liquid from watercolor. So we pull a sheet out of here, which is kind of difficult to do because it's so thick. It's thicker than construction paper. I would say it's about 3-4 times thicker than construction paper. Super compressed paper. We fold this mug in half. And what's great about this is you can make your test strips any size, any shape. And with one sheet of paper, we can just get to cutting. So if I wanted to do them this big, you could. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have some good outreach, you don't want the fragrance too close to you. Cut it like that. You have 2. Rip it at the seam. And now you got 2 very absorbent test strips that will get most of the juice from your spray. So you're not, as y'all know, sprays go like this. So if I'm taking my fragrance, I don't care how close I am to it. I could be this close to it. It's going to go like that. So, you know, more than 60% of the fragrance is going to miss the test strip. It's going to affect how much juice you're actually smelling, you're wasting juice, etc. So if you want to make bigger test strips, more absorbent test strips, I recommend the watercolor paper. I could probably get about 50. And if I was really trying to stretch it, I could probably get 100 test strips from one sheet of paper, which is absolutely insane. Rude Diggity says, hey bro, new subscriber, did you ever try Bentley Absolute? I did, actually. So Bentley Absolute, let's talk about it. To me, Bentley Absolute is dry, highly sophisticated, manly fragrance. I think you gotta be at least 25 and up. I would push as far as to say 30 and up unless you're a very mature man. But Bentley Absolute to the Bentley lineup is, I liken it to what Acqua di Gio Profumo is to the ADG lineup. You're dealing with a fresh, not with this fragrance. With ADG, you're dealing with fresh, aquatic, marine aquatic, green type of fragrances. With some of the fragrances have more of a green herbal nuance. Some of them lean more on kind of the marine, mineral, aquaticness. They all kind of lean around that mineral, aquatic, marine vibe. But some of the other fragrances lean a little more green herbal on top of that. Profumo takes the ADG base frothy frosted bottle DNA and adds incense to it. There's a couple other notes, but the star note in Profumo is this seductive, not very sweet, I would call it more invigorating, mysterious note of incense. And I actually think, even though it's less versatile than ADG, EDT, EDP, it's the best fragrance because it has the most signature. A lot of times when you go with a signature fragrance, it's obviously going to be less versatile, but because it's ADG DNA, it's still extremely versatile. You just step into semi-formal. A lot of ADG is can be everywhere from casual to extra formal because it's very safe. Profumo is strictly semi-formal and up. It's romantic. It's classy. It's mysterious. Bentley Absolute in comparison to the entire Bentley lineup. Now, Bentley, unlike ADG, has a lot more variety of fragrances. Bentley's got about 20 to 25 fragrances that all are in the fresh, classy category, but each one has a different complex nuance. It might be booze, it might be green, it might be herbal, but it's mostly all fragrances that are citruses on woods. Like I said before, similar to how Profumo has a dark, mysterious incense on top of the base ADG formula, Bentley Absolute has an incense approach on the base formula of citrus woods, but it leans more heavy on woods and incense. If you took like some birch or some cedar, and you set it on fire and you have these wooden embers kind of after the fire, after the flame has gone away when you're sitting at a fire, and you just kind of have these hot woody embers, the burnt wood freshness with incense, like a Nag Champa incense, is what you get with this. It's dry, it's mysterious, and it's incensey. Sophisticated Nag Champa incense is what this is. Now, I love wearing this just by itself, but performance is obviously going to be an issue because this fragrance might only get you 3-4 hours, to be honest, of strong performance, and that's with about 6 to 10 sprays. So what I've been doing is I've been contrasting the dark, mysterious incense wood vibe with Versace Eros EDT. It's kind of a wild card combo because with Versace, you're dealing with this kind of like smooth, it's almost like a smooth, safe, sophisticated rendition of one of the Jean Paul Gaultiers, like a Les Beaux or Le Mal Elixir type of vibe. But when you throw the dark, dry, woody incense on this note profile, it dumbs down the sweetness that you would typically get from this fragrance and makes it extremely more masculine, classy. But it also gives you that sweetness that a lot of the younger guys from teenage to about 30 years old are craving in a fragrance. So you get dark, mysterious, dry wood, and then you get that super soft Jean-Paul Gaultier-esque sweetness. So I've actually been able to get more performance out of my Bentley Absolute, wherever the heck it is, by spraying at least 2 sprays of Versace Eros down the middle and then around it. So I might go 1, 2, and then I might go with Absolute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll take me to about the 6 to 8 hour mark. And it actually goes really well together. I put this combo together and went to the grocery store and immediately got 2 compliments as soon as I walked in the door. One of the compliments, which surprised me because this is a more mature take, is I got a compliment from someone that was about 18, and then I got a compliment from somebody that was in their mid-20s. So that told me I was onto something with this. Because again, the only complaint somebody would ever have about this is either that it's too dry woods or that there's no sweetness. But as soon as you put something like Versace Eros alongside of it, it gets a crazy amount of longevity and uniqueness. It's already unique as is, but if you don't wear Versace, this is like a 30 and up fragrance to me, 30-year-old and up. Once Versace hits it, it's like a 20 to 30-year-old fragrance banger that takes it a little more commercial, in my opinion. But because I love what Profumo did so much, I like subtle touches of incense and woods, and I like wood dominance. I don't like citruses or fruits, things like that, duffing off woods, because then you're just getting a very generic fragrance. Like, how many fragrances have citrus on woods? Pretty much everything. So to see something, and those citrus wood combos are normally like 60-70% citrus, 20-30% woods. So to see a reverse be more dominant on the woods rather than citrus, and then throw incense on top of that, it's something very unique, and it's something for the books for me. I think it's highly masculine, a little less commercial, but you're gonna get compliments as soon as you wear it. I mean, it's just, you're not gonna smell like anybody. Kicks, DM me later. I want to send you some decants. Hey, listen, Kicks, if you're still around, bro, I've recently been posted on Fragrantica, so almost, I would say about 90 to 95% of my collection is visible on Fragrantica. Just type M as in Matt, even though my name's not Matt, it's just M Brown 480. I can also send you a link to that, and you can see my entire collection, and let's trade. Let's not make it a one-way street. So if you want anything from that collection, or you need me to shoot you a link, I'll pick away. However much you send me, I'm a double back, spin the block, and hit you with the same amount in decants. I got you. As soon as I get off this live, I'm gonna DM you my Fragrantica link. Rude Diggity says, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I actually found your channel because your review on Bentley Infinite EDT and your review was how I experienced it. So I figured I'd be able to take your opinions pretty good. Hey, listen, man. A lot of people don't realize this because I have production value and graphics and stuff like that, but I don't produce my show. When I'm filming my show, it's live in a sense because it's not, I don't go live to shoot it. I film it as a local recording, which just means only I can see it. But as soon as I hit stop recording, it gets uploaded immediately to the channel. So you are getting a raw first take, no fluff, you know what I'm saying, at all. At most, I might be wearing a fragrance for a whole day just to double back to check my facts on performance. But outside of that, bro, I try to make sure that I give you a live take. And that's why sometimes I struggle with my words when I'm describing a fragrance because I'm describing it in real time. I didn't have facts that I preset, you know what I'm saying? We go on Fragrantica, we look it up together, we see how accurate they are. I wear it, I test strip it, and I try to give you guys the raw, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm right about everything, but my opinion is a real opinion that's not fabricated and unadulterated. We get a little scientific with it sometimes, because in my fragrance journey, the more fragrances you smell, the more educated your nose gets, so you have more words and different ways to describe fragrances, but I appreciate you for checking that out. And one great thing about this channel, man, is we drop every single day. A lot of people would be like, yo, I think the Scent Bubble drops an episode every day. That's really only half true because nowadays we drop not only one episode a day, but we have tons of different concepts and we drop YouTube shorts on top of that. So typically might be like 1 to 4 pieces of content a day that gets dropped on the various things. And we got our long form reviews. We have our hot takes, which is where I go into a store and pick a new fragrance, you know, such as all these samples and whatnot, and try fragrances for you guys with brief reviews. So anytime you see hot takes, that's going to be an episode 5 minutes or less. Anytime you just see the fragrance titled or whatever, it's going to be a longer 10 to 20 minute episode, 20 plus if I think the fragrance has a lot to unpack. So you have your nice concise, you have your long form, we have our Wheel of Fragrance game show, which is my collaboration with other influencers, and I try to keep that organic too. I'm not trying to interview anybody that's super mainstream in the content space. I'm dealing with channels with less than 5,000 subscribers because I want to put other people on. So I try to collaborate with people I see being consistent, and we'll all grow together. Like I said, in the last 60 days, we hit 1,000 subs. So our channel's growing fast. I would reckon that by the end of next year, which is 2025, we will probably be north of 10K without question. I don't really care about the numbers. I care about the engagement. I have about 20,000 followers on social media because I'm a hip hop artist. As you guys can see here, you know what I'm saying? Those are some of my album covers and projects I've done. So I have about 20,000 followers outside of the Scent Bubble. But when I started the Scent Bubble, I did not announce to any of my 20,000 followers that I was starting this channel because I wanted to grow an organic audience from scratch that has to do with fragrance. I wanted everybody that subscribed to be fragrance lovers of some sort. So maybe one day I'll announce to my 20,000 followers across my other socials that I have this channel, but for now, everybody that's subscribed so far is a fragrance head. So that means a lot because I know that the engagement is real. It's serving the community that it's for. And I also didn't want to gas my channel with a lot of people that subscribe to me just because they're fans of my music and stuff like that. So it's been really dope. I appreciate you following. Make sure you like the video. I know it's hard to do if you're on a cell phone, but if you are interested in fragrance reviews that are no fluff, no BS, definitely like the video and subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're going to hang out for a little bit longer, see if there's any questions, and then we're going to sign off, man. We're going to keep it simple. Yeah, bro. Hey, listen, Kicks, that's what we do, dude. Like, I do well in life. So for me, this fragrance channel is just about having a creative outlet to document my journey. You know, I don't consider myself like a content creator. I just am somebody talking about my own fragrance journey. And if I find gems, I'm like, okay, bet that's for the channel. You know what I mean? It's just, I got a camera on and I'm buying fragrances. And I'm learning and growing, and anything I feel like gave me value, I just double back and give that to the channel. I'm not in it for the numbers. I don't need success with fragrance. So it's nice because I get to do what I want, because I'm not, the end goal is not to see something on the other end of it. It's just to have some fun. So it's nice because it's a real channel. You know what I mean? It's not a production, it's not a show, even though it might look like that. It is literally just me with a camera on documenting my journey. This is how I would talk about fragrance to myself, to be honest. I got a camera on. Hey, what's up? I'm rocking with Club de Nuit limited edition. I'm a pineapple head. Hey, listen, Bruno. Club de Nuit Intense is like Versace Eros. It doesn't really matter what you pick. Eau de toilette, eau de parfum, limited edition, pre-show. Even if you spun the block on Club de Nuit and went something like L'Aventure or Offnon Not Only Intense, they are all amazing. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of them. I don't care which one you buy, it's good. If you don't like pineapple, then you won't like any of it. You might like some more than others, but really, if you like smoky pineapple, birch, all of them did a good job, 80+%, and half of them are like 90+%. I have the EDT, I have the I have the EDP, I have limited edition. Limited edition is a little bit smoother, but they're both phenomenal. And I've smelled everything: EDT, EDP, limited, L'Aventure, Not Only Intense. They're all phenomenal. And there's a couple others out there too that are going hard, but pretty much the only ones you're gonna hear about on YouTube is gonna be Offnon Not Only Intense for men, L'Aventure from Al Haramain. You won't really hear about the EDT anymore, and then you hear about the EDP from Club de Nuit, as well as the limited edition. But limited edition is absolutely fire. Absolutely fire for sure. Happy holidays, Joel. Happy holidays, bro. We appreciate you guys. Anybody have any last minute questions, man? I'm going to leave it on for a couple more minutes and then we're going to sign out. Let me know if you have any fragrance questions. What are y'all scent of the day, man? I've been going so hard with Vetiver Sensual. Wulong Cha and my Montclair La Corday. They're cool, but I mean, they're cool, man. They're cool. They're all right. They're definitely different, but I'm giving myself a little more time with them, because anytime I put on a fragrance that I feel is like different, I try to get in that world for a little bit and really sit with it, because some fragrances absolutely shock me. Like, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. When I tried Lattafa's Assad, right? I was not a fan. I was not a fan. I sprayed it four times one day, 4 times another day. I sprayed it about 12 times total over the course of 3 days in a week. And I came back to it months later, like 6 months later. And I'm like, let me wear this. So I wore it. My wife was like, hey, whatever you're wearing, I need that. So, you know, do I love Assad? No. But wifey absolutely loves Assad. That vanilla, that incensey, woody, Dior Sauvage Elixir-esque, more of a remix twist. Vanilla, spices. Vanilla, spices, woods. So once I put this on months down the road after maceration, I realized what maceration was. Assad introduced me to what maceration was. And now I have some respect for it. You know what I'm saying? What else? Scent of the day, Paris Corner Killer Oud. Okay. Midnight Ecstasy. Have any of y'all tried, this is so left field, but have any of y'all tried Paris Corner Amir's Tonka Cola rendition? It's called something Cola, I believe. The red bottle, I think. Have any of y'all tried that? Is it any good? Or the Instant Crush one. I think they have an Instant Crush dupe as well from the same line that they did the Cedrat Essence. I was interested in those two, the Tonka Cola and Instant Crush inspirations. Okay, Cherry Cola. Gotcha, yeah. I'm interested in those two because I thought Cedrat Essence actually did Cedrat Boisé better. It's basically Cedrat Boisé with green honeydew melon. But they still captured the Cedrat Boisé essence. So I thought they took it, they remixed it with the green honeydew, and for that it made it more commercial. Because I think if you just do Cedrat Boisé by itself, you kind of lean more masculine, sophisticated, older. But I felt like the melon note, similar to the melon note in Jimmy Choo Man, it makes it more commercial. Like if Jimmy Choo Man or Jimmy Choo Man Intense didn't have the, now it's not honeydew in there, it's cantaloupe melon in Jimmy Choo, but I felt like if they didn't add that melon note, it would kind of feel like Dior Sauvage Elixir, but even more dark. So in the same way, I like that they added the green melon note to Cedrat Essence. I felt like it took it somewhere else. Same thing with Paris Corner's not Fire Your Desire, Amir Celestial. You know, when Amir Celestial put that sweet note, they didn't even add a special note. They took Ganymede, which leans more mineralic, and they put more emphasis on the violet leaf and made it sweeter. You know, a lot of people complain about Ganymede because they think it's too earthy. But when you ramp up on the violet leaf, it kind of gives it this heavenly, slightly powdery sweetness with the mineral suede vibe. And I was really impressed by that kind of, and I think that's what good clone fragrances should do. Like, you know, it's cool, like for instance, Lattafa Sacrat, where they match Profumo pretty freaking close. Just a slight lack of performance, but for 20 bucks, we're not complaining. We're adding 10 sprays and calling it a day. That's cool, but when you take something and elevate it or give it a different emphasis, that's when you get a lot of respect from me, because now you're giving variation and difference. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like Assad, try Armaf Hunter Intense EDP. Don't get the EDT. It's my favorite clone in my collection. Armaf Hunter is extremely popular. Like if you look on TikTok shop right now, you can get it for like 15, 20 bucks because people are just buying that thing like hotcakes. Little hack for you guys. If you've never purchased a fragrance on the TikTok shop, purchase at least one fragrance from TikTok shop, because I think first-time buyers on TikTok get a 45% off coupon. So anything that you see, now they have a limited selection of fragrances, but in terms of the clones, all the popular famous clones that you can think of, you're going to get 45% off. You know what I'm saying? So even if you want to get something like Pre-Show, which is typically around the $60 price point, you're going to get, you know, Pre-Show for freaking 30 bucks, which is insane, right? So I remember I went on there and I think I got Assad or Afnan Tarathi Blue for $8 with shipping. I mean, that's insane. I got the Cayenne Classic today to compare it to Dior Homme Intense. I mean, it's good, right? Like, let me look. We haven't reviewed Cayenne Classic yet on the channel, but that's another one that's coming probably by January. It'll hit the channel. For those of y'all who don't know, like every Sunday I record all my episodes. So like I'll typically do 5 to 10 episodes back to back to back to back on Sunday, and then that's what rolls out for the week. I don't have the time to do my episodes every single day literally. So everything gets recorded on Sunday, all the hot takes episodes, Wheel of Fragrance, etc. And then I schedule them for an auto release. So that's how I make sure there's episodes for every single day in the week on the channel. But Cayenne Classic is a phenomenal clone of DHI. I'm actually quite impressed with most clones that clone DHI. Your Camaro Homme Intense, your Cayenne Classic, your Privé Homme. There's actually a lot more than that. And then you have DHP. So Gary's Den, you know, is really phenomenal. But if I go on YouTube right now, you guys can kind of walk through it with me. Let's see. If we look at my videos that are upcoming, oh, this ain't even the right channel. So if we go here, go to content, we have, these are my concept videos. So I have 2 concept videos already in the queue. Then we have Dracar Intense, Privé Illusion. So we have 4 episodes already for next week, and it's not even Sunday yet. So tomorrow I'll add another 5 to 10 in the chamber. And I always am like, typically I'm always about 5 to 15 episodes ahead of you guys. You know what I'm saying? So you guys catch episodes like a week late, but that's just because I have so many episodes. I'm not dropping them all on, you know, I'm not dropping multiple episodes a day. It's just not happening. I love Celestial. Almost everything different is my vibe. Dude, I really think Amir Celestial is one of the most slept on clones of all time. It just, it's so heavenly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's masculine. It's extremely unique. It's projective. It checks every single box that you would want in a fragrance. And for being 25 bucks, which is what I get it for, if I ever see Amir Celestial on the shelf, I'm buying it. I don't care how many extra bottles of Amir Celestial I have. When I'm wearing it a lot. It is just such a good fragrance. I mean, it cannot be stated how amazing that fragrance is. And I'm going to be doing a top 10 clones of 2024 that I've actually been wearing. And Amir Celestial will easily be in the top 3 without question. Without question. Hunter EDP is like Elixir X Invictus. Yeah, but I think Hunter EDP is copying Dior Sauvage Elixir, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's going after Invictus. Any last minute question, guys? Send them in. Send them in. We got last minute questions, and then we're gonna sign off. Let me smell some of this Layton real quick. Layton's really been throwing me for a curveball because I really feel like what's the hype with Layton? You know what I'm saying? I really feel like Layton smells like cherry chapstick. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, Layton smells like a exquisite cherry chapstick. It's okay, for sure. Like, it definitely seems unisex. I'm trying to think if I prefer it on a male or on a female. It's good. It's a really good fragrance. I would call it like 8 out of 10, though, for me. For me, 8 out of 10 for Layton, as far as what I would personally wear. I think sometimes we judge fragrances by how it smells in the air and not what we think it would be on us. But for me, Leighton feels very mid, man. I think if you wore cherry chapstick on your lips, people would probably think you have Leighton on. Extremely fresh, aromatic, sophisticated cherry chapstick. It's good. It's not great. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Did you decide on your scent of 24? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Vetiver Sensual has been really getting to me. Vetiver Sensual has been really getting to me in December. And it's crazy, right? Because I feel like Vetiver Sensual shines in warm weather more, even though I think it's any season, any reason. I think it shines better because of that amber and that radiance in spring, summer. But I've been wearing it in winter, and I'm so impressed with it. It's very hard to be impressed by vetiver fragrances because I think vetiver fragrances for me seem very middle of the road to upper. Like I love vetiver so much and I have such a high standard of it. And I've gone through, your Tom Ford Grey vetiver, vetiver Sensual, Terre d'Hermes, everything from La Lique pretty much is vetiver emphasized, OG, Sport, a la Extreme, white, black, black, white, Ecus. All those fragrances highlight vetiver in the La Lique line. But vetiver Sensual, I'm constantly impressed by the balance of that formula. December, though, I mean, if I could pick a cold weather fragrance, what I've been really impressed with, I mean, dude, it's crazy. I've even been wearing Ferragamo's Bright Leather. Like, that's a warm weather fragrance, a nice warm weather leather. Been very impressed with that as well in cold, because I think that's another any season, any reason type of fragrance. I've been very intrigued by the herbal green spin-off of Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. And these are really basic fragrances. I'm trying to just think in my mind. Probably the best true winter fragrance that I've really enjoyed as of recently has been Halloween Man Shot X. Or not Man Shot X, just Man Shot. Halloween Man Shot by Jesus de Pozo. Been loving that cold weather fragrance. Been wearing some Angel Share. Versace Eros in cold weather has been very nice. What else? What else cold weather has been like inspiring me? It was really freezing out here for Halloween. So I did like a combination of Oud Satin Mood and Oud for Glory. And that really impressed me. I think I did one spray of each. Dark oud, dark but fresh cut oud over rose was really interesting to me. But yeah, even Gary's Den, Dior Homme Parfum. I was very Dior Homme Parfum Gary's Den specifically. Has just continued to impress me. The amount of dimension and quality in that fragrance is just can't be overstated. I've really been enjoying my time with the DHP clone for sure. Gary's Den has just been doing well. Even the Elysium, Fraghead, I've been wearing some of that in cold weather. Obviously, to me, Gary's Den is more masterful, but even touching the Elysium DNA through Fraghead has been really enjoyable, even in cold weather. I actually think you're going to experience some performance issues wearing Elysium in warm weather. So to wear it in cold weather, it kind of held to itself a little bit better. But it was phenomenal. I haven't tried Leighton on skin, but I got that La Lique white and black, and it's pretty decent. You know, the thing that's always been somewhat of a bummer is because the price point is so low with Lalique fragrances, you know, 20, 30 bucks. I wonder if that plays into the performance. Now, granted, most of those fragrances are wood florals, wood being cedar, vetiver, and things like pepper, and white florals. Those typically are like in most of the compositions, especially with black, white, and white and black or whatever. I think there's 3 different variations. I really like those fragrances the more and more I put my nose to them, but obviously they have performance issues. I think most Lalique fragrances you got to put at least 10 sprays on to really enjoy them. So I've been trying to figure out what fragrance to sit under them that will carry the performance better. I'm not a performance stickler, but I am a performance, like I'm looking for performance with stuff that I really like. So trying to, if you wear Lalique fragrances, you have to bring travel sprays. That's just what it is. And then you're fine. But, you know, not a lot of people like to do that a lot. So trying to find something else that can go with it and make it go is something I've been continuing to, I'm still working through. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be honest, Bruno. Like, I have Ganymede over there in my collection, and ever since I tried Amir Celestial, I actually no longer like Ganymede. I only like Amir Celestial because I think when they put their emphasis on this sweet, slightly powdery violet leaf, that not only increased the performance, but it took it out of the super earthy, almost sophisticated fougere category and put it more in commercial space. I think Amir Celestial is Ganymede now. Like when you smell Amir Celestial, you will think Ganymede is the clone. But yeah. A layer of a summer fragrance with a winter fragrance might be fire, at least different than layering 2 winter fragrances. I agree, man, because a lot of the winter fragrances tend to be sweet, right? So you got to assume that if you combo 2 winter fragrances, it might be overly sweet. But I was actually super shocked. Like, for instance, what is the fragrance? You should seriously try this combo. Bentley Absolute and Versace Eros EDT. Sweet fresh, slightly less sweet than Jean Paul Gaultier. Super dry, incensey woods. Hyper masculine. This combo, cold weather, warm weather, absolutely insane. Like I said, as soon as I put this on and went into the grocery store, I got 2 compliments immediately. And that's a very daring combo right there because those are 2 polar opposites in terms of DNA. I tried Ganymede and had a very creamy texture smell, very melancholic and relaxing. I don't know if creamy is the word I would use. Let me check. Yeah, I don't know if Ganymede can really be called creamy. And the only reason I say that is when you look at the note profile, I don't think there's anything in Ganymede that has a creamy element to it. In my experience, it's mineralic, it's suede. I think there might be a touch of violet leaf. I mean, powdery might be the word. Slightly powdery just due to the violet leaf. It is definitely relaxing. Like, I call this fragrance the fragrance in heaven. Like, if you died and you went to heaven and you were like just laid on a cloud and you woke up and you saw heaven's gates laying on a cloud, this is what I would want it to smell like. You know, airy, light, slightly sweet, slightly powdery sky. It's almost like baby's breath, a little bit sweeter. But I don't smell creamy. Like, this fragrance is too fresh and too aromatic to be creamy. When I think creamy, I think like MFK Grand Soir, you know, vanillic creaminess. I don't know if there's a fresh and creamy don't really go together in terms of like just the words to me. But yeah, Amir Celestial I think beats this. But this is great, man. I mean, I don't think if you're over 30 years old, you have to have something like this in your DNA. You know, you have to have effing fabulous if you want more of a boy toy version of this. Um, there's another fragrance, oud wood. But to me, again, Amir Celestial takes the oud wood and effing fabulous DNA and it marries them like absolutely perfectly. So you're not quite boy toy, but you're not quite hyper masculine either. It sits right in the middle, like that 35, 45-year-old man category. You're just looking like a real millionaire, you know? But nonetheless, Ganymede is awesome to me. As you start to get older, you just start to appreciate other, for lack of better words. Like, you like, instead of just, you know, growing up, you know, most fragrances that I came across was like citrus on woods and then something vanillic and sweet. You get older and you start actually exploring florals and seeing the difference between lily of the valley, violet leaf, ylang-ylang, um, rose. You start looking at woods and you start smelling like, oh, cedar versus birch. Um, what else? Bamboo, you know, incense, different green elements, different herbal elements, mineralic, leather and suede. You start looking at them differently and appreciating which notes you gravitate to, and then you're no longer just trying to smell a freshy fragrance, citrus on woods, or sweet vanillic spices. You start going into other bags, your floral bag, your white versus your dark florals. You start playing with random notes like oud and spices and herbs and stuff like that. And you know, it just, I think it's a combination of like, one, as you get older, you get intrigued by other things you haven't spent time with. And then two, you're not really chasing familiar anymore. The older you get, you're chasing what speaks to you, and you become more confident in being okay with things that aren't traditional that speak to you, and it becomes more of a personality showcase. Whereas like when you're young, you're like, okay, which fragrance is going to get me more chicks? Which fragrance is going to go good in the office? Which fragrance am I going to get the most compliments on? And I think when you're answering those questions, you kind of take the ball out of your hands and let the world kind of choose the fragrance for you, you know, via YouTube and via going to listen to somebody share fragrances with you or listening to what other people say is good. That really changes over time. It changes with age. It also changes with how much fragrance you own, because you spend time with more notes and you start to see like, oh, something I really loved when I first put it on. Throughout the day, I don't really get the same enjoyment out of it, or certain fragrances are vibes versus versatile. I mean, it's a big conversation, but to each his own, man. At the end of the day, I'm just talking nonsense. Like, however you want to wear a fragrance, however deep into it or simple you are with it, who cares? I'm just sharing my thoughts. Um, yeah, Boss Bottled is nice too, man. Very abstract scent. Can't believe they created it. Has Anique Minardo or Francis Kirkjohn vibes. Okay, for sure. Smelling interesting instead of just smelling good when getting older. Me turning 50 in August, but still feel younger. Yeah, man. I think technology is changing our kids so much. It's both educating them and dumbing them up at the same time. They're learning so much, but they're applying so little. But nonetheless, the things that they participate in and the way they participate in them today is kind of, even at 35, is making me feel very behind. Um, but interesting is definitely a good word. But I also think, like, you change, man. You change. Like, you get older, you start learning about fruits and vegetables. You start learning about your health in a different way. You feel differently about certain things. You know more of what you like and don't like. And it just makes you chase fragrance differently. And no two people are alike. Like, there's a viewer on my channel that is like 55 or something like that, and he was sending me his fragrance collection, and he only wears gourmand only. I kind of joked with him a while back and said, you probably don't go out much. You probably don't hang out with the opposite sex very often, smelling like a chocolate cake every time, which I was just joking. But like, he only wears tobacco, chocolate, vanilla, and spices. That's like the only thing he feels joy from. And fragrance for him is a very personal experience. And who the heck am I to say that, he's not aging like I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. But so I always have a light grip on my perspective on fragrance, because it's so subjective. And just when you think or want to represent people of your age or your color or your background in terms of speaking on a topic, you're just one human being away from realizing that we're all just completely different. Yeah, younger people want the results right away instead of enjoying the journey in fragrances and in life. I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Um, in a lot of respects, though, too, I think loving the journey is something that I feel only old people really get a concept of. Because I find even a lot of adults struggle with enjoying process, especially with technology where it is. Um, People only enjoy the journey of a journey they enjoy. Mm, that'll preach, man. Because it's like, if they don't love the thing they're doing already, they're not going to enjoy the process at all if they're results oriented, oftentimes, let alone go through the journey. Some people stop their journey short with a lot of things because what the journey looks like is something that they either have a fear of or that they don't have a lot of self-will to endure and go through. Doing something that's not sexy for the sake of getting to an end result that might take 5, 10 years, 15 years, is a challenge for even adults. But I think kids more, for sure, because the benefit of being a kid is that you don't have to make choices. So because you don't have to make choices, you're always interested in variety and trying a bunch of stuff and never having to make concrete decisions. So it's like, the older you get and the more concrete things have to be, what your challenge is exploration. You might be someone who likes to explore, but you have so many predispositions towards everything now that you're aging and becoming more cemented in your natural impulses and your natural interests, that when you think you're experimenting, you're only experimenting in your kind of safe confines of what you're already interested in. And that'll have a different effect on you. You know, so there's so much two sides to the coin with it, but I completely agree with you in a lot of ways. All right, guys, I hit 65 minutes, way too long. I got to get ready to get out of here. This is the Scent Bowl. Please make sure y'all follow the channel. Stay tuned for the latest and greatest. I appreciate everybody who comes in here and spends time with me. And definitely look forward to the new episodes. Shout outs to everybody that tuned in. Joel, appreciate you, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and thank you to everybody for tuning in. This is the Scent Bubble signing out.